Welcome back now to the issue of the day, the very latest from the porous, wide-open southern border, with a record 302,000 illegal migrants encountered at the southern border in December alone. President Trump, just a moment ago, telling me in an exclusive interview his plan to solve the crisis at the border will include deportation of most of the 10 million illegals already here after they entered illegally under the Biden administration. Joining me right now with a reaction is the governor of Texas, Greg Abbott. Governor, thanks very much for joining us this morning. Your reaction to what you heard from President Trump.
Listen, the president outlined his two top priorities, which are the top priorities across the United States. One is to crack down on illegal immigration, and this is more than rhetoric on his part. He has a proven record about what he did when he was president. Remember, when he was president, he implemented 4 policies that led to the lowest illegal border crossings in 40 years. And the second thing he talked about was drilling for more energy. This is important because it connects to the economy in the United States of America and Bidenomics inflation. First, America can and should be energy independent. Second, most importantly, what Joe Biden is doing by his policies, he's trying to destroy the jobs of hardworking men and women in the energy sector who depend upon producing energy for a paycheck. And also, because of Joe Biden's policies, it's leading to an increase in the price of the pump that Americans are so angry about. So President Trump is honing in on the top 2 issues affecting Americans.
Yeah, and they affect Texas first before the rest of the country, right? I mean, look, just the other day, last week, President Biden canceled all of those LNG contracts. He wants to look at the way the federal government approaches those contracts. What kind of an impact is that having on Texas?
Well, it's going to be extraordinary. Texas is a leading LNG exporter, for one, but for another, countries across the globe count on us for energy, ranging from the European region, that if they don't get our LNG, they may have to once again rely upon Russia for their natural gas supplies. Also, there's other countries like India and other countries across the globe where if they do not get our LNG, they may have to revert back to using coal, which obviously provides more air pollution than natural gas does. And so I got to tell you, the decision by Joe Biden literally makes no sense whatsoever. It harms the people that he's trying to connect with, but also it harms jobs in the United States of America and hinders our energy independence.
Well, also questionable is the decision to allow 8 to 10 million illegals from across the world into America and then give them court dates 10 years later. I want to get your take on the assessment at the border today. You know, you've got a border trip coming up. You are hosting several governors from across the country at the southern border today, correct? Can you tell us about it?
Sure, that's correct. Maria, more than half of the governors are now joined together in support of a very important proposition, and that is we are guaranteed by the United States Constitution the right of self-defense if states face imminent harm or invasion. Texas obviously is facing both an imminent harm as well as an invasion. And so these governors are rallying around Texas to support our ongoing right to self-defense and the deployment of this razor wire that has led to a massive reduction in inflow. Maria, get this. The area where we have occupied this park in Eagle Pass, Texas, that we put up the razor wire, there used to be 3,000 or 4,000 people crossing that area a day. For the past 3 days, we've averaged just 3 people crossing that area. The point is, if we put up resistance, we show that we can secure the border. Joe Biden should not be stopping that.
Yeah, let me get your take on what's going on in New York. We understand now New York is going to be spending $53 million to come up with prepaid credit cards for the illegal migrants. What do you think's behind this? Why do they need prepaid credit cards?
It sounds like insanity is behind it because it really is offensive. It may be the most reprehensible thing that I've seen take place over the past 48 hours when you see police officers in New York City being beaten by illegal immigrants in this country who should not be in the country in the first place. And then after they engage in this crime against a law enforcement officer, they are let loose back out onto the streets. What's going on in New York is outrageous, and Americans across the entire country are angry, not just about what's going on in New York, but the underlying cause for it, which is Joe Biden's open border policies.
And why do you think Joe Biden has this open border policy? What is your thinking in terms of why he continues to do this? In the last 2 weeks, the president said he's known that the border is not secure. He's known it for 10 years, he said. He says he doesn't have the power, even though on day one he walked into the Oval Office and reversed all of President Trump's security at the border.
Yeah, so you make a very important point, and that is, Biden says he needs Congress to give him the power to do whatever he needs to do to secure the border. The fact is, as we all saw from what President Trump did, the President of the United States has the power. I must emphasize this. There is an obligation, there are laws in the United States that require the President to deny illegal entry of any illegal immigrant. And then if they do get into the United States, he has a legal obligation to detain those illegal immigrants. Joe Biden is failing at both of those duties, and that's exactly what gives Texas the authority to make sure that we can step up and secure our own border and protect our own state through self-defense.
Governor, we'll be watching your efforts to secure the border in Texas and for America. We so appreciate your time this morning. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Maria.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.